Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 797 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob Commander Taco Malda, and joining me on this lovely Friday, I have, of course, Chris DeBona.
Hi.
Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
Gentlemen, today's episode title is Stable Gazillionaires. We'll get to that.
Stable.
We'll get to that in a minute. How's everybody doing?
Rob.
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, actually.
I followed a man who must excel at Tetris,
Jenga and Jenga.
Jenga. Yeah. It was quite a number of couch sectionals stacked up like a pyramid in the back of his pickup truck with one rope binding them all together with hope.
Hanging on for dear life.
I've got the picture. I can show it if you.
Yeah, I have.
Is there a license plate on it?
Sure.
Yeah, but I'll make it so you can't see the license plate. Here, give me a second.
Yeah, there's a license plate that I totally saw.
There. Yeah. So there you go.
That's what I followed for 15 miles today, all the way through town, all the way up from my house into town.
I feel safe.
So this ratchet strap looks like it's going through one leg here.
Yeah, and as you can
like
see,
wobbling.
it's like angled up. You can kind of see it's not like even across the whole bed. So the very left-hand side's towards the back of the bed. The front, the right-hand side is at the front of the bed. So it isn't even like tight in the middle. And that top piece was sliding back and forth the whole freaking time.
So how much room do you give this guy?
Oh, I gave him like 5 car lengths.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
What kills me about this is it's so insanely ugly. Why would anyone save this? Oh my God, I think I found it.
This is to put it out of the misery.
Good Lord, that's ugly. Here's the Walmart Miami Contemporary leather sectional sofa set.
Oh, there you go.
Tell me that's not it.
Wow, $3,500.
It's in
Wow,
pieces,
I guess that's why
I think it could work. God, this is hideous.
You know, I need a new couch. I should have pitted him.
Look at that bad boy with the bed on one side. I think I might be all in on this.
Yeah, that's the colors. I can't do that.
It could be like, where's the bed section? Oh, maybe the bed section is in multiple pieces too.
Yeah, it's probably in the middle there someplace.
Yeah. You can see sort of the puffy part. Puffy.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
That's extraordinary. But I bet it's very comfy.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, you look, it's torn at the top too. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it looks pretty shredded.
Are you saying this isn't high quality leather?
Made from the finest leather.
Yeah, the finest leather.
The finest leather. It's actually human skin.
Dude.
It's actually around here it'd probably be like carp scale, right? Carp
yeah.
I mean, the carp carnival just ended, so.
Yeah. This is where they hide their extra weights.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
God, that's ugly. Well, so yeah. So see this red stripe here on the top, and then there's the red stripe on the top. Yeah. No, we found it. We found it, boys.
We did it.
Found it.
We cracked the code.
We did it.
We cracked the code. I wonder when they sold this nonsense. Details.
Well, that guy in the truck just bought it. So
I hope this becomes a regular section of the show where people just send us pictures of furniture and we have to find it. Right?
Solve the furniture mystery.
We played a game like this quite often at the office where there was a competition to see if I could find something on the internet.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of like
and this is in Michigan. Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, that's your go-to. You need some weird
is it
stuff.
Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist for y'all?
Facebook Marketplace probably is more popular.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna.
Let's move on. So.
Oh God, I found an even worse sofa. Look at this nonsense. Wow. Here.
And we're waiting.
Wow.
Oh. Ooh.
What the shit?
It's like layered poop.
Ugh, that looks terrible.
Simultaneously, I kind of want it. Look at this. This is awful.
$4,000.
I mean, it's the same price as the Miami Spectacular. You know.
But I mean, this is made of terrazzo.
Is it? is that combined, or you literally just stack your couch every morning and hope you don't move too much?
No, it's stitched together. I mean,
I hope you can flip it over.
You would think, right?
So that like the two pieces. Oh, look at that.
Oh,
now I get it.
That's a different shape.
Yeah, now I get
it. They turned it in,
Oh.
Now I get it. Now it's worth it.
Before, after.
It's a transformer, guys.
Yeah.
Look, you can even do it that way.
There's so many options.
There's so many options. That one looks more comfortable.
Like, that one?
You could pilot your starship on that, I think.
For sure.
Oh yeah, it's very sci-fi. Like put that in the corners of your starship.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then have somebody with like a third eye typing it, or talking into a thing.
Doctor Strange, maybe.
Sure. That was also very stupid.
Yes, a very bad third eye. Okay. All right. So Commander Keen shared with us the Marty PC Emulator, and this is actually something that I've noted before, but the old CGA video cards and like that era of video card, the way that it used the overscan area, you could control it to a certain degree, but the most emulators don't deal with that. They draw the window and then that's it. Well, this emulator is cycle accurate, which apparently is something that people don't care about for PCs from that era because everybody everybody had a different PC, right? So it's not like a Nintendo, which you want to make cycle accurate. Every Nintendo is basically the same. Every PC was basically different because everybody had so many different video cards. But keep scrolling, Chris, because there's a demo in there that's really I think one more down. There we go, the blue square. Check out that demo. Like this would have blown my mind if I would have seen this in 1986 or whatever. Like they're pushing the overscan areas in order to make your screen feel bigger. That's clever.
I remember actually doing this on the IBM PC. You could poke various parts of the of the video card memory and really mess with the boundaries. It was really fun. And
a lot of like those old like Commodore 64 demos and stuff would make really good use of that. But that's one of those things where modern emulators don't always get it right. So anyway, this one does. If you scroll down a little further, there's actually a screenshot of look at that. They show the scan line tracking across and you can actually watch the code execute as the scan line travels. Like that's cool.
That's really neat.
So anyway, that's just...
Emulator programmers are the best programmers. Let's all agree.
Indeed. The next one that we have on the list is infrared paint. You can apparently make infrared reactive paint using...
No, that's not what it is. It's reflective paint. It reflects... It reflects light in a way that cuts through the atmosphere. So it's cooling paint.
Oh,
do you remember a couple of years ago we had that story from Stanford about people making paints and reflectors that would reflect and cool because they weren't stopped by the atmosphere. So this guy basically figured out how to do it with crap at the grocery store, which is fantastic, you know.
So we're gonna cure global warming right there. We figured it out.
Well, I mean, honestly, you put this on top of all of your, on top of all your roofs,
black roofs,
you're getting substantial, cooling from that, right? So it's pretty neat. Yeah, and he goes through the process of doing it, and he links to an article that literally, every step of the process, which is not uncomplicated, just for the record, but but it's pretty cool.
Is this the sort of thing that it would be like impossible to like paint your house or something with it?
No, you could do it. I think you'd have to refresh it.
I think, and I think most of your return would be from the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not.
But also, and then the question is, can you put like a clear coat over it to protect it? I don't know. I don't know if that would change the properties of it. So yeah. But it's pretty cool.
Very cool. So
all you have to do are these 17 steps.
Oh, just 17 steps. Well, I got bored by my step 2. That's my ADHD kicking in.
Bored. You're like, I just want to buy it.
You didn't get to the part where you have to, dry out the pigment in an oven before you actually use it.
Or break it up inside a blender that you have around, a big industrial blender.
I got to tell you how far I got was number 8, which was make a 4th batch. I was like, no, you're telling me that I have to do this already 4 times.
Well, there's an optional 5th batch.
Oh, good.
At 1/3 scale.
Oh, well, then that's fine. So we've got a kind of a funny one about grumpy locals versus self-driving taxis. I believe this one is unsurprisingly in the Bay Area. But they're just putting cones on the hoods of these cars. Now, this doesn't stop them, right? It just turns them into cool unicorns.
No, they don't know what to do with it. They think they hit something.
Oh,
or
really?
Something's in their way, so they stall.
That's awesome.
So that's what they're doing. They're messing with them.
I can't wait till they do an update to stop that, and then they start running people over.
Especially in construction zones.
Yeah.
Because when they see a cone, they're like, "Oh boy, I can't go there."
Right.
And so now they've got a cone on their. Oh, I guess I can't go on my own hood. What do I do? What do I do? Danger! Danger!
Stupid robots.
They don't know how to do things they haven't been programmed to do.
Shit.
Yeah, it's very funny though.
I don't know. I always get weird about the self-driving car stuff.
Well, what's funny is the SF fire department. They're like, if another one of these damn things get in our way during a fire, we're destroying it. You're never getting that damn taxi back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so pissed at them not getting out of the way fast enough, or not getting out of the way, or getting stalled out. They're just like, yeah, we're just gonna ram the next motherfucker we see. And it's like, yep, I hear you. You ain't wrong.
Except there's humans in there.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know that they're occupied.
Well,
I'm sure they won't ram and destroy an occupied one. They'd be like,
and they can tell how. I guess the ones with cones on them are unoccupied.
No, they pull up to them and they say, "Get out, because we're trashing."
If you just want to reserve your cab for tomorrow, you just wait, you get out of it, put the cone on top of it, and then when you get up, you got this is mine now.
Yeah, it's like calling dibs on the East Coast.
Yeah, cone dibs.
Spot. Yeah, cone dibs.
Yeah. All right. The next one that we have on the list is the ongoing shenaniganery at Twitter.
Twitter, that was that social media site that used to exist.
Yeah, in the before times, in the long ago. This story is now you might recall that a few months ago, old Elon, our very stable genius gazillionaire, fired thousands of people. Now, some of these people presumably possessed skills. Perhaps in the social media area.
You say?
Skills that so far it seems are lacking at Twitter, but skills nonetheless. And there are only so many places that those skills are valuable, and it turns out one of them is Facebook, because Facebook is now making a clone of Twitter, a theoretically Fediverse, one-day Fediverse rival client called Threads, and they hired a bunch of Twitter employees, and now old Elon's gonna sue Zuck for hiring his ex-employees. I don't want them, but you can't have them.
I mean, of course they're gonna send a letter like this.
Of course,
but the history of So there have been successful court cases where companies, I think it was Nuance versus Yahoo, where they went after for predatory hiring, basically kneecapping their products to advance the competitor, right? But if you fired people,
fired people, that's,
no take backsies, dummy.
Right.
It's like no, that's not how that works,
Yeah.
But I mean, they're gonna try, but it's not gonna matter.
Of course.
Yeah. And also, can I just say, Twitter wasn't that unique when it launched or over the last years. It had built a nice service with that sort of social network,
its value was the network
center
effect,
of gravity,
not the technology.
Right? But yeah, it's like it wasn't the technology that was all that great.
Well, it's like all of these systems. Maybe you're innovative when you create your thing, but once you've achieved your network effect power dominance, you're not incentivized to maintain that technical lead.
Well, maybe, but I was more thinking along the lines of like when I look at everything versus Wikipedia.
Sure.
And it's like, like there are certain things that Wikipedia did differently that made it more popular.
For sure.
And that popularity outstrips everything's ability to become that popular.
Absolutely.
So everything that looked like that, like there's a bunch of Twiki and Quickie based general dictionaries, and they didn't take off, not because they didn't have the exact same technology as Wikipedia.
Well, and in fact, most of them have like, we solve one particular problem better.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. You can't solve one problem better and defeat the incumbent. I mean, that's why Google is arguably not the best search engine anymore, but they've got the network effects, and it could be another decade before they get offset.
Someone has to really outstrip the functionality to
well,
get
that's
people
why
to move over. Or and stick with me here, much like Twitter, they have to screw the pooch so substantially that one of the other people are just like, oh, we could do this and no problem. Why don't you just come over here? We're not going to treat you like a bunch of jerks.
Well, so this is sort of what happens in the late 90s to like the press and the media industry. The media industry got destroyed as the internet rose up because they weren't prepared for the new media, the new distribution mechanism. So in a lot of ways, TV stations then get screwed when YouTube comes along. But when you shift to a new platform, that's more than just fixing a couple of bugs. And until an incumbent or until somebody comes along and has more than fixing a couple of bugs, that's why Twitter still exists, even a year now or 8 months after it like ran off the rails. That network effect is impossible to offset.
It's incredibly powerful.
And like, I think I mean, we were talking in the channel not that long ago about platforms that actually have died from that level of market dominance. And I mean, Tumblr and Dig might be the only two that I mean, you could argue
and you might say, Tumblr being
tiny.
owned by Automatic has recovered a lot of their former users, maybe, but but what you're saying, when Threads came out, they were able to say, hey, people who are already all in on Instagram and Facebook, everyone's got an account on those things. Here, come try out this thing. Maybe it'll tickle that Twitter part of your life. And they've got 7 million users already.
They're up to 50.
It's like 50. Wow.
Yeah, they're growing. And here's the great thing. I can't find my Instagram password, so I haven't logged in yet. I haven't logged in Instagram in 10 years.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. So the riots in France, did you know that Macron figured out what's causing it?
What's causing it?
It's video games, guys.
Oh, well, it's not D&D.
No, it's not. Or rock and roll. Sometimes it's rock and
roll. Specifically heavy metal.
Elvis Presley.
Sometimes it's when a boy and a girl dance a little bit too close together.
They didn't give enough room for Jesus.
Yep. Yep.
Is that what they used to tell you? Keep room for Jesus between you?
I definitely heard that.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure at the time if it was being told to me as like irony. When I was at that age, it's not like I was out dancing with a lot of ladies.
and I went to public school, so
they didn't care.
They didn't care.
I remember they banned the song Billy Idol. Yeah.
It's a nice day for a white wedding.
Rock the Cradle of Love.
Maybe one of them gets dirty enough that, and then all the kids would respond in kind. There's like a chant that you do along with it.
Oh.
Get laid, get F, and so they stopped playing that.
Right. I'm sure that stopped them from canoodling out at the parking lot.
Yes, for sure. I mean,
Well, the adults said we can't.
Well, but back to France, I think it was actually caused when they killed the 17-year-old.
Yeah, I think that's
that might have had something to do with it. Yeah.
Call me crazy.
When they pulled over the 17-year-old and murdered him.
Maybe it was dual jump.
Right.
Though.
In America, it's okay to murder kids because we have an amendment that says it's allowed for you just to carry guns around and shoot kids whenever you want.
Kinda. I mean, if the kids are getting oppressive.
Like they're all trying to learn math and stuff.
So,
So
you
is
have
he
to
saying
overthrow the children.
that the French police are playing too many video games? I'm trying to like stitch this together for old Macron here.
Do you think that this is a rationally defensible position?
No, of course not.
Okay.
So dumb.
Because I don't think he gets it.
Well, I mean, he's been I think he's been an all right leader there. But then he does stuff like this. It's like
he may get it. This I'm not. I don't have my ear to the people of France right now, but maybe this speaks to a huge portion of his people, right? I mean, the goal of this isn't to do a good job; it's to get reelected.
Yeah, for sure.
To do that, you have to be popular. So
it's true.
Yeah.
That's like we were talking about DeSantis in the channel. Yeah, you know, and like his demographic is scared old men. And what are scared old men scared about is paying their alimony bills. So of course you make that a centerpiece to your platform. Your demographic is angry, scared men. I don't want to pay my alimony anymore.
Is there a lot of old men in Florida?
What? Really?
Weird. Probably paying alimony to their firsts and second wives.
Well, it kills me that it was called the First Wives Club or whatever.
Wasn't that great?
That were against this. And I was like, oh yeah. First they came for everybody, and then they came for me. The first wives. No, I told you. So my Uncle Ron died earlier this week, and apparently one of the last things he said to his daughter before he died was like, "Make sure you don't pay any more alimony to your mother." You know.
I hope that the daughter was the executor of the will.
They got divorced like 30 years ago. No, I mean, once he dies, the alimony's over. You just make sure that payment doesn't go through on Monday. Or
oh, it was all just about the one last payment.
Yeah, exactly.
That's even better. That's the best kind of petty.
Oh, to his last breath, he was just that guy. It's so funny.
30 years.
I can't think of a better eulogy for that guy than that. So funny.
All right. We got a story about Mechanical Turk. And guys, you would be shocked to know that people who are paid a penny to solve CAPTCHAs using Mechanical Turk are now going to use AI to make their jobs even simpler.
Wow.
But this actually leads to kind of another problem related to this, which is these models are trying to learn off of theoretically AI generated data now. They're tainting their pools, and so apparently people could use Mechanical Turk to try to validate their AI models, but now they can't really trust. Oh man, hiccups! They can't really trust that anymore because the Mechanical Turk is just feeding it back into itself and back into the AI itself. So that's fine. Everything's great. I liked that one a lot.
Yeah.
And then the last one that I had on the queue was perhaps the funniest thing that I've ever seen related to, I guess you'd call that a line item veto. The Wisconsin governor went through a bill and line item vetoed a bunch of stuff. But one of the things that he did was he took out 2 digits and a hyphen to turn 2024 to 2025, the school year, into the year 2245. So he turned a line that was meant to be for limited to 1 school year to 400 years. Which is like, all right, that's pretty ballsy, Wisconsin governor.
Wow.
I liked that one a lot, but it does seem like that. Like at some point, we're gonna have to start putting all of our laws into GitHub, just so you can get your patches and your diffs to see what's going on. I've said this before to you guys probably, but I think that the law should be for congressmen. All laws must be edited in GitHub, and the only person allowed to type is the actual elected official.
They actually keep versions of all laws, at least in the Congress, on, I think it's on a Microsoft Access server. So there you go.
I agree, but I think that the only person who's allowed to make commits is the elected official, because then all of our laws would be short.
Well, the thing is, you have to realize that
I know what's wrong with what I'm saying. I'm just saying it would fix it.
There's nothing wrong with what you're saying. There's nothing wrong with the idealized world that you want us all to live in. In fact, I consider it a testament to your character and aspirations for goodness.
Yeah.
In the Congress of the United States, the Congress and the Senate, they have provisions that allow them to write on a piece of note paper in committee and not sign it and have it be added to a bill.
Right.
You know, unattributed changes.
And I think that's
and they
just
do
horrifying.
Not want to give that up.
Yeah, I think that, and I think that's why America sucks. Like,
there's a lot of things where there's no accountability.
That's the thing. We elect them, have accountability, but also if they have to type it in, do you know how much shorter the laws are going to get? Typing takes time, and those people are lazy.
Honestly, I see Tony Evers doing this, and I'm like, man, you know, he's got it.
He does.
He's got to figure it out, you know? And it's not like he's saying, I didn't do this. He's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I did it.
I did it.
That's the law.
You don't like it, change the law.
Change the law. That's right.
But they won't, because they're waiting for when a Republican's in there so they can pull other things like, you know, no abortion for -5 weeks. You know,
I'm sorry, abortions are illegal after the -5th trimester.
Yeah, right. So it's like, if you even walk around as a woman, you're expected to have a child right then.
Yep. If you're not pregnant, you're not a woman.
Well, you know, yeah.
I know. It's a sad place we live sometimes.
Is that the last thing we had in our?
That was the last thing. I did just want to mention. I watched this week's episode of Star Trek.
How was it?
And I just wanted to say this was a great episode because they finally did all the things that I want out of an episode of Star Trek. And that is the captain of the ship took an away mission. They went to a planet. The planet had an interesting sci-fi problem that they had to deal with.
I'm with you.
There was a B plot aboard the Enterprise where the second in command had something interesting happen. And then at the end, there's a little bit of a moral, a little bit of a character growth for a couple of our key characters. And then we went on with the day. It was great.
Did they discover an octopus nursery?
Oh, I skipped that one, didn't I? Yeah, we should look at the octopus nursery. It's adorable.
I haven't looked at it. That's why I asked. I was interested.
It's mostly I just liked it because it's an animated GIF that I figured we could look at. And it's adorable. Chris, show us the octopus. Here's a baby.
I'm gonna find it.
No,
so it was actually hard to find the actual video on the Schmidt Water site. But here's the Scientific American clip.
Yeah, that was all it was. It just bloop.
It's kind of adorable, you know.
Hi guys, I'm an octopus.
What's up?
I got things to do.
Me and my brothers, we're gonna go hang. Yeah. So
aliens.
They are kind of aliens.
That and fungus.
Yeah, they're pretty weird.
They're not like us.
Are we allowed to show that picture? You know,
might be a bit much.
Well, it's funny. A friend of mine, she's a coral. She's a specialist in coral reefs, and she managed to record when the coral breeds, right? And so she called herself a coral pornographer.
Oh,
yeah. You get places like the Great Barrier Reef, and a huge bloom like that is literally all that you're swimming in, right?
Yeah.
Coral goop.
So sexy.
Yeah.
I
don't know what I'd call it that, but it's something. Yeah.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy comes out on digital today.
Oh.
So that might give some joy in you guys' weekend. It's totally a worth watching movie. And it's even maybe a worth watching movie above and beyond the Rob 3-star camp, for which you guys routinely say the Rob 3-star camp is a garbage movie. I'm completely fine with a 3-star movie. I'd say that this is a 4-star movie.
Well, It's not that. It's I think we disagree on the stars.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
There were parts of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that I thought were fantastic.
Yep.
I loved everything about Rocket and his pals.
Yep.
I'm on board.
I thought the body horror stuff that they did with the animals was pretty insane for a PG Marvel movie.
I agree.
Sweet, I can't wait.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
No, I have not seen it yet.
You'll love those parts.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I saw a guy wearing those shirts where they have the 4 names, Ba and Ba and Ba and Ba. Well, they had Rocket and Floor, and it's like, man, I gotta get that shirt. That's cool.
Is there any other worthwhile media occurring? Because I think we're a week or two away from Barbenheimer.
Have you watched Secret or Invasion or Secret?
Yeah,
I can't even remember what they call it.
I keep watching Secret Invasion.
And Secret Invasion, not Secret Wars like the comic book. Secret Invasion. Yeah, I watched that first one and I keep meaning to, and I just don't.
So. Yeah. Man, it's fine.
As far as like stories go, that could be that's a classic. That's Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
Like there's some good meat there they could use.
You know what? I hate to say it. I don't know who directed it. I think the problem is maybe it's writing, but I think it might just be direction. I never feel like there's any stakes. I feel like people are chewing scenery, but I don't feel like even so. In episode 2, there's a pretty graphic torture sequence, and I'm bored during it because I don't know. I don't know. There's just something missing.
Yeah, and if you're gonna have a television show about humanity being replaced, there should be some stakes to that, right? That should cause you some panic.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't
discomfort at least.
And I don't know, okay, so Falcon and the Winter Soldier had a bunch of re-edit stuff, right? I'm wondering if this didn't have some re-edit stuff too, because a lot of it is in Russia and stuff. And wow, you guys hear that? There's a helicopter really low over my head.
Is it a black helicopter?
I can't see it. My curtains are down, but I can show you.
I'm right over the flight path for the Kalamazoo Air National Guard, so every day there's a Chinook, couple Cobras.
We're under the flight path between the Lansing Hospital and the Michigan Hospital, so helicopters.
Life flights.
Yeah, constantly. No, the stakes don't feel right. There's some, I don't know, there's just something fundamentally off about the show, and ultimately it's just boring. And I'm gonna keep watching it now because there's only 3 episodes left. But it just watching Star Trek and feeling like, yes, this is what I want from a Star Trek show. My only real complaint about the Star Trek this week was that there's a component where people are having gaps in their memory, and they do the thing, the tinnitus sound, the ringing sound, and they play it loud, and they play it a lot during that episode. And guess what hearing that sound does to somebody who has ringing in their ears? It triggers ringing in their ears. So it's like they need the thing, the warning flashing lights. This episode contains flashing stuff. They also now are going to have to start warning, we're idiots who are going to stick tinnitus ringing sounds in our show and just make our show annoying to you. Next week is the new Mission Impossible. And then the week after that is Barbenheimer, I think.
I'm looking forward to Oppenheimer. I wonder how it's going to go.
There's an hour and 3 minutes away from my house is an actual film IMAX. I've never gone there, but I think Oppenheimer might be worth making that journey. It seems like maybe I'm just buying into the hype, but it seems like if you're going to go through the hassle of shooting something like that on film, maybe I should go see it on film.
Or projected from a digital projector.
No, it's a real film one.
Oh.
There's a real the one that my usual IMAX theater is just one of the crappy digital ones. And more annoying than that is that the HVAC system for the theater is on the roof. So you're just watching the movie, and then like you'll be in a quiet scene, and halfway through the scene, suddenly the air conditioners kick on, and all you can hear, the dialogue you can't hear, and it's just the air conditioner. But if I go, that theater is 21 minutes away from my house. If I'm willing to go just 42 minutes further, I can see a real film IMAX. Which I'd like to do. The last time I saw a real film IMAX was The Force Awakens.
Oh. That seems unfortunate.
It was good to watch in film, but I don't think they shot much of it on film. All right. Do we have anything else we need to get off our chests, gents?
Yeah, I don't think they used any cameras at all. I think it was all just inside, modeling programs at that point.
The Force Awakens had a lot of practical stuff, but that was the other thing about my other complaint about the Star Trek. There's one set in particular that every shot looks like they shot it on a volume.
Really?
And I'm just like, and part of me is like, that sucks because I can see it. But the other part of me is like, if you look at the original series, like they're shooting on a soundstage, and like the fact that they're on an alien planet is just because they're like shooting a wash of green light on the wall. Like we're in space. See, green wall. Our atmosphere is a slightly different color. So maybe I should be a little nicer about that. Do we have anything else?
Nope.
All right. Nope. Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Chris DeBona.
Bye.
That was episode 797 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Taco Malden. If you're lucky, we'll see you next week. Bye.